Does yours go like 18 hours?
There's the room.
Hello.
Hi, Chad.
Hello. Yep. You're
How's it going?
ready for you to start there, Chad.
Okay. All right. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Town of Norfolk Planning Board meeting for Tuesday, June 11th, 2024. We are meeting at Town Hall in meeting room 124 and also on Zoom, as you can see. So we do have myself and Chris are remote via Zoom. Chris should be there shortly. Just so everyone knows, members of the public are welcome to attend this in-person meeting at 1 Liberty Lane or remote via Zoom. And the Zoom links are on the town's website. Please note that the in-person meeting will not be suspended or terminated if technical problems interrupt the remote connection. The meeting, like I said, the meeting is recorded and will be posted on the the NCTV YouTube channel. I believe it's also being live streamed as well on the NCTV YouTube channel. So we will go ahead and do some introductions. So in the room, if you could just go around and I guess say your name.
I'm Christian.
Gary Sullivan.
Melissa Mayo.
Richard McCarthy.
Betsy Fidgel.
All right, and then we do have myself, Chad Peck, and Chris Montfort is remote. Thank you, Chris. Awesome. Chris is driving. Be careful.
I'm just parking.
Oh, perfect. All right. So, first order of business. I pull up the agenda. So there's a couple public hearings. Rich. We do have a quorum. We have one person. We have one of our board members is absent this evening. That's Eric Diamond. But we do have enough to vote and open and vote on a public hearing. Rich, do we want to go ahead and open that 7 o'clock public hearing, or do we want to take care of other business until Chris gets in the room?
No, I believe, well, let me just clear. Chris, you're intending to Zoom from home, or you plan to come to the meeting room?
He's in the hall.
I'll be right there.
He's walking in right now.
All right, so just hold on a second.
Okay, we'll just wait 30 seconds.
Big reveal.
Big reveal. All right.
Beautiful.
All right, so you want to just flip up your, well, I turned it up.
Turned it down?
First, no, all right. Now you can open it up.
All right. Well, let's open up the public hearing for 4 David Road site plan approval, stormwater management permit, and special permit, which was continued from May 14th, 2024.
So in terms of where we are now compared to last month, it was continued. It went through additional peer review process with Beta Engineering through the applicant's Engineering Bay Colony Group. They have addressed the comments between the peer review and whatever outstanding items that are conditions. There are conditions within the permit. The one condition is that, as we kind of talked about, what delayed a little bit was trying to figure out the site in terms of water and separation from water and septic and so forth. The plan is being brought forward subject to tying into municipal water. So that is something that's been put into the permit, subject to tying into municipal water, which would then, everything else will fall in line thereafter. I can turn it over to Bill Buckley from Bay Colony and kind of give maybe a little more detail than what I just said, but.
Sorry about that.
So maybe go to sheet, I think. Next one.
Perfect. That's great. So, thank you, Richard. I'm Bill Buckley from Bay Colony Group. Excuse my voice. As Richard said, one of the things we were waiting for was to find out if the community was going to put a water line down David Road in order to serve that development. One of the issues we had was having a well on the site. It's a relatively small lot. They're a little over 30,000 square feet, and you have to have a separation from a well, from water, from drainage and from septic, and it was just too tight of a site to do that. So then when Richard came back and said, what the community is looking at, putting a water line down there, that kind of solved that problem. The other changes we made, if you look at the drawing here, as you're looking at it, we moved the building to the right. So as you look at it, we slid it to the right, maybe about 15 feet or so. And the reason for that is the left side of this lot and the rear of the lot, if you had a chance to go out there, you can see that there's walls there. And there are already walls along the lot lines. And what we were going to do was going to increase the size of those walls in order to maximize the amount of area that could be used for building and storage for the facility. And then when subsequent to that design, which we had filed, we went out and priced it, and we found that, gee, it's really expensive for what additional area we would have gotten. So what we've done is we've moved everything to the right and actually from the rear. So if you look at this drawing, I know it's hard to see. Previous design, we had storage in the back here, and now what we're just doing is sloping it up to meet the new grade there. And then over on the left side, we took the top of the wall, we're not touching the existing wall, and then sloping it up to meet our grade, which is about the same elevation as David Road out front. So right in this area here, finished floor is 187 here. So that's the major change. We also met with Richard and the building commissioner, and we went over some of the zoning issues. So for example, this loading storage area, this loading area in the corner here, I asked the building commissioner, what do you, he goes, just give me 400 square feet. So we gave him a 20 by 20 foot area for that. We also changed the mixture. You can't see it on there, but if you look on your plan sheet, if you have it, upper right-hand corner, sheet 3, there's a zoning blocks. And we changed the parking requirements. The numbers really didn't change, but what we did is we broke it down differently so that it conforms with the Norfolk zoning descriptions of use. So now it's some manufacturing, some storage, some general office space, and then we also included, the building commissioner also told us to include parking spaces within the bays. So we have 11 spaces. We're required to have 7. We have 7 outside. So that was a change that we made as well. And then there was a lot of detail-oriented work that was done for us in order to answer the consultant's comments. There's still a couple of things out here that Richard has highlighted for me to address. The first one was the loading zone, 20 by 20, and they said typically it's 40 by 10, and the beta defers to the board. We don't really care. If you'd like it to be 40 by 10, that's fine, but the building commissioner said as long as there's 400 square feet, he's satisfied.
So what's the purpose for that loading zone?
Good question. I would say it's probably just to pull up and take material out until it's going to be moved inside the building. But realistically, I don't think it's going to be used. It's just a requirement under the zoning. On this particular site, we have zoning up in this, we have loading and unloading up in this area here, which any vehicle that needs to come in can either come in from the existing site, which they do now. Actually, this whole area, a lot of it is just gravel, or we're showing a forklift access down here. So a vehicle could pull in, unload, forklift up in here, store materials. But the intent really is to put the materials inside because of the business. It's a business for fencing, so you don't want to store it inside until it's manufactured into whatever it's going to be.
In terms of zoning, the purpose of it is just to make sure you have adequate space on site, so you're not loading and unloading on the public ways or drives and so forth. That doesn't interfere with parking and circulation on the site.
Okay, thank you.
One of the comments they made was they want a 4-inch thick, dense graded crushed stone, which is fine. We can add that under the pavement. Their comment was 0.5% grade. They wanted us to add more drainage structures. 0.5% grade is a standard that's acceptable, and it's really up to the contractor to do the job correctly. That usually this pavers don't like it, but that's tough. You know, it's acceptable. We don't think it requires any more drainage. Everything drains to the back of the lot now in this corner here, and up in this corner here. So water either drains at this point, drains to this catch basin. This is connected directly into an underground drain system, which isn't shown on this sheet. And then this flows around to the corner here. And as I said, this is a small site. It's really quite a small site. So we believe that the amount of structures we're showing is adequate, especially since the roof's being tied directly into the underground drain system.
So that's for P1?
That is for the comments, I'm sorry. No,
Yeah.
that is for, T1 is the loading zone.
Yep, T1's the loading zone.
T2 is the vehicle enter and exit, which I'll talk about in a moment.
P1 is the profile.
Yeah, just for ease of following through the dock, if we could go through them in order, that would.
Sure.
So we'll go T2 next.
So T2, we provided a turning radius plan. So this will be, these would be small tractor trailers would be showing up and supplying material. So what we showed is a plan where the vehicle pulls down the street, backs in here, unloads, pulls out. It's a WB-40. It's not meant to go around the building. It's just meant to pull in, unload, and go out. We actually raised or changed this radius in order to make it bigger. You can see here it was a 10, and we made that one larger. And if the same thing on this side, if a tractor trailer was going to pull up, back in, pull out, so we made that radius larger as well. We received a notice or an email from the fire department, I forget when, but it was a couple of months ago, that said that they found the access around the site acceptable.
Okay.
So that's in your file.
Appreciate that. That was going to be my next question.
So I understand that. Would you also need to modify the radius on the right? I mean, you modified those left two radiuses, or radii, because wouldn't the truck, if the truck's back, is the truck backing in?
The truck is backing in, and then
Right, so then when the truck leaves, would it be fair to say it's backing in from the left? And then wouldn't it be fair to say it's going to pull out to the right to get back out to Pond Street?
no, because you can just do a circular around the neighborhood and pull back out to Pond Street straight that way as well.
Okay, they could, but will they is another story, but yes. I mean,
And would we want them necessarily like traversing throughout the neighborhood to get back onto Pond Street as well?
Well, it's a commercial, it's
Oh, it's-
industrial.
oh, all right.
it's all commercial. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you don't have a drawing showing like an auto turn drawing showing the turning movements of that back in and back and pull out?
There is.
Yes, we did supply it.
There was?
It was with the comment
Was it in the
letter.
plans? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a swept pass analysis, and it was dated May 3rd.
I think it's
but-
on his plan set too, though, isn't it? I believe it.
No, we gave it separately on the.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, if you want us to do a 25-foot radius on both, it's not a big deal. We can do
I think
that.
it would be, I just think it'd be smart. It would give the truck an option. I mean, I just think that they're probably going to want to go out the other way, and they're just going to destroy that curve. I mean, but I think it makes sense to do it the same. I don't know if there would be any harm in doing it that way.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any harm in doing it that way.
no. I think it probably does make sense. Because you don't know who the drivers are, right?
Exactly.
Presuming,
So we can, if you can make that a condition,
yeah.
sure we can put that in there.
Yep. Okay.
P1 talks about the construction requirements meeting the standards for secondary streets. So we can update our cross-section to meet that standard that was pointed out. That's P1.
Okay.
SW6 is what we were just talking about, was the grading of the pavement. 0.5%. SW7 is the next one, where we're talking about the grading at the west driveway, which is, oh, could you go back to that, Betsy, please? Page 3, sheet 3. There you go. So that would be right here. And I agree with that if you see over here, we put a notation to the contractor to lip this entrance, and we didn't put it on this side, which we should have. So what we want is, right now, this is a bituminous curb that runs down the street. There's a catch basin right there. It has no throat stone, the granite. Doesn't have any granite, it's just flat against the curb. So we'll continue to do so. And if we lip it so that the runoff continues down, it will still be captured by then. Anything not captured will continue down the street to the next one. So, so we can add that note as well.
That was
Okay.
SW
That's for SW6.
6.
6 or 7.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then SW21 is, I think, more of a pay attention to it. Talks about sedimentation, where are we going to put temporary sediment basins, etc. And again, that comes under the construction stormwater pollution plan when the contractor is chosen, when he decides what his methodology is going to be to build the site. So that's a moving target as he moves forward on his design. And I think somewhere in here, and I'm not sure exactly, it requires us, I think at a pre-construction meeting, to provide an updated stormwater pollution prevention plan, because at that point you'd have the contractor identified.
Yeah, although it's a popular topic, probably not going to require it though, right? SWEP, because it's less than an acre, or?
It doesn't require a NIPD's permit, but we did prepare a SWIP plan. And
You do
it's,
have a SWIP, okay.
and it's on
All
one of the
right.
sheets. I forget which one.
All right, okay,
Sheet 8.
okay. Yes, you're right, we have the pre-construction.
And I think those are all the issues that you highlighted. And then the ones in blue were ones that were going to be made conditions.
Right. Yeah, the ones in blue are already put in there in terms of conditions?
We don't have the colors, but I'll trust you on that. So you're talking S22, S24, not S24.
No, it's SW27.
You got a computer there,
You
cheater.
do. SW28.
SW11,
SW11, okay.
SW13,
11, 13,
SW22,
22,
27,
27 has two
28.
conditions.
So I think we might have to... What? So we might just have to tweak just fine, the decision just to cover the items we just did.
T2.
T2 and P1, I think,
Yeah.
and SW7. Adding that lip
Yeah.
location.
Right.
We have an extra room on,
I think I have a signature page.
enough room in
I
the,
think so.
so it doesn't change the. All right, so what we'll do is, I'll just have to make a revision to the decision.
Yep.
Add in those conditions, in addition to what's already in there.
So I had a question on the waivers. You had two waivers. Waiver one was the allow construction of a gravel storage area exceeding 1,000 square feet. Did you address that? I forget what the rationale was on that.
It's an existing gravel storage area. We're actually cutting it down substantially. And then one of the comments was put the actual square footage on the plan, which we did.
Okay. And then the other waivers, the traffic study, traffic analysis, what you talked about. It's probably not warranted for this situation. Okay.
Stormwater
Right.
yeah, I'm sorry.
I don't see Phil on the call. I just wanted to.
No,
see if
I
he
didn't-
had additional concerns, but it doesn't look like there are after reading the document.
Made the educated guess or assumption, I think it was in pretty good order. They didn't need to attend tonight. Hopefully I erred the right way.
That's fine.
Because actually the items that you went over are actually going to be addressed
Right.
in this one.
I don't have any more questions.
Yeah, I don't have any questions. Does anyone else on the board have any additional questions, comments, concerns?
No.
Okay. Anybody in the room or on Zoom? Do not see any hands raised on Zoom,
No. And there's nobody here in the audience.
and nobody's in the room?
No.
Well, there's people in the room,
Well,
but not
yes.
Nobody's
Oh, but
lining
not for
up.
nobody's coming
Okay.
to the mic.
No
I got you.
pitchforks.
I see I see both mics next to Betsy, so, okay. So then, does anybody see any reason not to close the public hearing and then vote on the vote on the decision that we have?
Motion to close the public hearing for 4 David Road site plan. Yep. That's
Second.
Okay, we will do a roll call vote. Melissa,
Aye.
Chris,
aye.
Gary,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. And Christian, what's your opinion?
Aye.
There we go. All right, so public hearing is closed. We do have a draft decision before us with a few revisions. What were those additional conditions we needed to add? Is the conditions for S?
P2, P1,
It was which ones?
T2, P1,
P2, P1,
There was an SW.
SW7.
SW7. And then scroll down to the SWs.
I think that was,
then 22.
20. Yeah,
And then 27. There's 2 conditions on 27.
227.
Yes.
What about 28?
Yep.
Actually, let me double check. I think SW 20, oh wow, did I not have all the pages
Yeah, you have 28 in there.
in the decision?
You have
In,
27 in there. I think.
In the draft decision?
No, that's for the SWIP. Sign operations maintenance plan.
Or did it?
What's that?
It didn't,
Nope, 27 looks like it's in there.
oh, was it?
It's double-sided, so
20,
on the stormwater.
Oh, this is Sharon Ave over here. Never mind. All right.
no, that's 22.
Yeah, so SWIP is in there, the standalone O&M, illicit discharge statement. So those are covered in the,
So 20, SW 28 is all set?
28's good. 20, which one is it? 22 or 27 that's covered by .27 on the approval?
so 27, SW 27 is covered by, hold on a second, sorry.
It looks like it's covering 27, SW 27.
That's the O and M plan.
Yeah, actually, they correspond. So
22, the operation plan. So that's both of them then.
yes.
22 and 27 are all set as well?
Yep, and then we're looking at 20. Seven is next. This is the water.
Hold on a second. So, hold on.
Yeah, the water is under,
This is the drainage
oh,
catch basin.
the catch basin. Well, actually, let's put, is there, Chad,
Yep.
are you okay with the 0.5%? Because that one's tied to the,
And that's under 20 SW.
That's SW7 and SW6, really. SW6 specifically calls out the 0.5%, but SW7 calls out the grading at the west driveway entering the site and relocating a catch basin to the west of the driveway.
so we know SW7 we're gonna cover, for
Right.
sure.
Yeah.
And SW6 has two pieces to it, right? Similar?
And so you need to call out that drainage structure so that everything kind of goes towards the drain and everything else goes past it, past the other driveway to the next one down the street.
It's all about the asphalt guy who puts the asphalt down. He's got to be very careful with that
Right.
little flow, and he's, yeah.
How far is the next drain west of that western driveway?
I don't know. Typically, they're no more than 300 feet,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure.
So Beta's recommendation was to install another catch basin.
Right. That's where Phil would be useful on this call because I feel like he knows what the grade is to the next one and whether or not it's going to flow that way. Because based on the note here, he's
Yeah.
concerned that water is going to actually enter the site through that western driveway.
Right. He's right. It's, yeah. During a heavy rain, it's very high potential with that little of flow or that little of grade that it could, yeah, roll in off the street and roll into the site.
If I could just pop in for a second, I think we're talking about two different things. The first is SW6, and that has to do with on-site. So that's the grading on-site. And
Okay.
so our opinion is, yeah, 0.5% is pretty flat, but it's
Yeah.
within reason. And then SW7 has to do with the street. So,
okay.
and my point with that was, we should put a notation on the plan so that the contractor knows to lip the entrance driveway, which they know, to keep the water on the street and not come into our site. So that's our recommendation for a solution on SW7. And on SW6, again, we think that what we're showing is adequate.
I'm fine with that.
Correct. Yeah. SW6 is a owner problem, so to speak.
Yeah,
I mean, so
right.
is SW7. I mean, if they graded improperly and the water's going onto their property, that's on them to deal with, not us.
Yep, that's a huge
Yeah,
problem for them. But
Right.
Yeah, so they need to make sure they create that lip.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that because you're right. It does default back to an owner problem. And if it does become an issue, then they're going to have to add it later.
Yep, so SW6 and 7 need to be combined and added to this approval doc. The site plan decision. Because that's currently, I don't see that called out.
Why don't, we don't necessarily.
We don't want any sort of language in there.
I don't think we need to.
Bill said he was gonna add a note to the plan.
for SW7, we'll add a note to the plan.
Bill's going to add a note, yeah.
Okay.
We'll revise the decision.
I just want to make sure that it's
No, no,
documented
no.
somewhere, because
No,
at the
no,
end of
I
the
know.
day, if it's not documented, then it is on the town for not calling it out.
Yeah, no, clarification.
Right.
SW7, will revise the decision to say a note shall be added, then he'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
so-
fine.
Yeah, so we will include it in the decision. Make sense, Chad? Just so,
Yep, yep.
and then he'll follow up and do it.
Okay. And then the next one's P1, which is around the detail of the thickness of the pavement.
You don't have an issue with that? Same thing, we'll add it in the decision, then the plan will be adjusted accordingly. Just have to check it before endorsement.
Okay. And then lastly was T2, which is modifying the radii of the entrance of those two driveways to match.
Same thing, we'll add that as a condition, and then
Yep.
we'll adjust the plan.
I'm okay with that.
Yep. So we've got T2, P1, SW7. What about S20, SW28 and 29?
28 is called out on the decision as 28,
Okay. Okay.
and 29,
It's nothing.
That already called out. as
that's
well?
provide a separate roof recharge system. That's
Well, it's
something,
going into the same system.
right.
It's a roof recharge system. It's connected directly into it.
And that should be called out on the plans, right?
Yes.
So let me just clarify, right now, the roof is going into it's not a separate system, Bill? It's in the same,
It's all one
system.
subsurface, but it's broken out separately so that it's clean. The runoff going into that system's clean. It doesn't have to be cleaned by a storm scepter or anything
Okay.
because it's considered clean roof runoff. But it is all going to the same infiltration system.
it's going into the same system. I mean, sometimes I know they like to have a roof separate from to recharge it into the ground, but it's all going to be recharged,
Into the same, right.
so it's not really,
Right. any concerns with the amount that the actual, the
Go
waste?
into it,
Right.
and on this site.
Now, we've designed it so that it can capture the entire 100-year storm with no overflow. We upsized it from the initial design, so it's been upsized.
Okay.
And it looks like it's a fairly small square footage on the roof structure. So.
Right. Okay, so how are you gonna call that one out in the decision?
So 29 is, they're not proposing to do that.
Right.
They're proposing to put it on.
Right, so
Effectively, it's a waiver.
that's a good question, Chris. Does it have to be a waiver? Yeah, it might need to be with waiver 3, because, I mean, typically it should be a separate system, and we're allowing it to be combined.
So we'll add it in as a waiver then.
Yeah.
It's acceptable to that approach,
Yep.
just to cover it.
Yeah, just, yep.
Okay. Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm curious as the order of operations, like, are we allowed to call that out now since we closed the hearing? Or do we have to reopen it, vote on it?
I wouldn't think you would have to.
No,
No.
I don't think
Just want
so.
to make sure,
Yeah.
because now we're just talking about the decision and we're finding gaps.
Right. Yep. So,
So what I propose is, I think, you'll vote this. Let's put in the other conditions into it, and then we'll have you come in and sign it.
Yep.
Yep.
There's just a little bit, I don't know, a little bit too much, so I'm not don't worry about the,
Really wait till the next meeting to sign it, too. We're in not a huge hurry.
yeah, not in a rush, but you voted tonight, and then I'll clean up this decision to include everything so you can look at it. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a little too many.
Tell me the motion.
well, I think if I understand this, we're looking for, where is it? It's so hard working off of one screen. I don't have dual monitors in my hotel room. So it would be a motion to approve the
Site plan, special permit application.
site plan and stormwater management permit and special permit for 4 David Road as drafted with a few additional conditions. And that would be to add a waiver 3 for
2 and 3, because waiver 2 is not called out in the decision as we have it.
Okay, so we need to add waiver 2 as shown from the beta document to waive submission of, well, what is it?
So it's allow construction of the gravel storage area exceeding 1,000 square feet. Granted, it's actually being
Special permit.
reduced from what it was originally, but
Right.
it's still a waiver request at this
So
point.
But I'm not sure that's a waiver.
technically, it's not a waiver.
It's a special
That's not,
permit.
It's a special
that's a
permit.
special permit, okay.
Yeah.
So where's that
That's-
called out then?
In,
Page,
starts on page 2. Which is special permit findings,
Yep, page 2 special.
which is for the outdoor storage area.
So which
Right.
one?
So we're looking to then add a waiver 2 for the,
We'll do this, yeah, so in terms of the special permit, the findings start on page 2 of the
Yep.
decision and carry over to
Yep.
page 3.
yep,
So 310-7.6.d is the one that addresses,
This outdoor storage. yeah.
W1,
Those
okay.
is, that's correct.
all right, apologies for derailing your motion.
no, that's fine.
And then, in terms of the order for waivers, then the stormwater one would be next.
Right. Would be waiver
Right,
2.
so we need a waiver to allow the roof recharge, to allow combined recharge system along with the roof.
Yeah, the roof recharge would be combined with the site stormwater
With the-
system.
Right. So that would be the waiver, and then we're looking at T2 was to modify the radii so that they were all was it a 20-foot radius?
Yes.
Yep. And then P1 was bring out the driveway secondary streets.
Perform drawing modifications.
Right, was to modify the thickness,
Take this on the driveway.
and then SW7
7, yep. Notation on the plan to have a,
was to add note on the plan to provide that the lip
lip.
on the driveways from the roadway to the driveway entrances. I think that covers it all.
That covers it all. Because SW 29 becomes a waiver.
Right.
So moved.
Second, I think. It's a lot.
Okay, so we will do a roll call vote. Melissa,
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. And Christian, what's your opinion?
Aye as well.
All right. So we have our decision. Rich, you're going to draft that up and
Yes.
send it to us for review.
Yes,
And then we can sign that later.
yes.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Bill.
Thank you to all.
Yeah. It takes a group.
All right, that was an easy one. What's next? Thank you.
So we have, the next public hearing is 14 Sharon Ave, the Norfolk Police and MECC site plan approval for proposed parking lot, solar canopy, continued from May 14, 2024. So who do we have? Do we have someone on? I see a couple faces popped up on Zoom, so I will, you could introduce
Yep.
yourself.
Ken with Select Energy.
Yep.
I'm Matt Cassane. I'm a project manager and senior geologist with Weston O'Neill.
Okay, welcome, gentlemen.
Just before we get, did you vote? Sorry, hold, pause one. Did you vote the stormwater permit for 4 David Road?
No, actually, I didn't.
If you don't mind just voting the stormwater permit.
All right.
Sorry about that. Just,
Oh. Well, Rich, do we need to, we did open a public hearing. Do we need to just finish this and then vote on that after? Probably.
we didn't get to it yet, but the public, yeah, we can go, that's fine. You want to do 14 Sharon Ave and go back to 4
Yeah.
David Road?
Yeah.
Okay. Just gotta make a note. I don't want to forget that. All right. So open the continued public hearing.
Yep. All right. Sorry, gentlemen. We'll go ahead again.
Ken with Select Energy.
Yep.
Matt with Weston O'Neill.
All right.
So,
So, gentlemen, you guys were here at our last meeting, and this is a continuation. I believe there was some questions we had which I also recall we did get, I think we had answers to all those as well.
Yes, we did get a draft approval sent over for our review, which we're fine with.
Okay. So in terms of, for the board and the public, what we did, you know, look at the draft decision, there was, what was added to it, there was some pretty typical standard conditions, but the larger one, which they're fine with, which is to have the building electrical plans submitted to the board, planning board that is, for review and approval prior to endorsement. If you remember, they got to, to go to the next stage, they have to have those plans prepared in order to get the permits. You didn't see those as of yet? So we'll just add that as a condition in there,
Okay.
as a step.
And I did task that out to get that drafted for you.
Okay. In terms of what? To ask that.
For the electrical and issued for permit plans for your approval.
Okay. The building as well, or?
Right.
Gotcha, okay. So, I think everything else, you were gonna have a tutorial on, solar, which Andy Baganowski he's not able to make it tonight. So that'll be a future topic of discussion. Wanna learn more about solar.
I want to learn how we're going to fix the solar on the Freeman Kennedy School first.
I could almost guarantee he'll share that with you,
Okay.
because he has the insight to that, but.
We do have a service division. We can send them right out for you. Not trying to drum more business, but you know.
I hear ya.
That's an aside, but anyway, so if the board doesn't, I mean, the applicant's fine with the proposed decision. If the board had any specific questions?
No, I know there was a condition that Eric had with regards to understanding where this was in the process with the town and all of that stuff. We got an email back on that.
Yeah, there was a bunch of back, yes.
Did you get to circle back with Eric, make sure he was satisfied?
I don't know if Eric ever. I don't know the answer to that question.
I'm sorry, was that question related directed to me?
I was asking Rich, but if you know, if you
Okay.
were on that email thread, what was the end result of those questions?
I know the town did ask for some information on the PPA and all that. We did send that back over.
And like the decommissioning of the equipment and all of that stuff at the end of life.
Yeah, Betsy, you did get the information on that from Gary, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah, we did get, the question was,
The missing board member satisfied.
yeah, that I don't have.
Okay.
any-
He is the missing board member, so. Okay.
I guess I would say hopefully
He had his opportunity.
yeah.
That's right, yes.
Yeah, I mean, this looks pretty decent to me. No questions from me. Looks good.
Any other questions from people in the room or on Zoom?
You good?
Nope.
I think we're good.
Nobody here?
It's two less people.
Okay, I don't have any questions. So it's really just to add that extra condition, Rich, that you had mentioned. So that's going to go, where is that going to go on the decision? I'm looking at, so that would
I
be,
put it in already in 3.
it's number 3?
Yeah.
Yes, yep.
Required building and electrical
Thank you.
plans shall be
Yep.
reviewed and approved by the planning board prior to endorsement.
Nice to see it now. Great. It looks good.
So motion to approve the site plan application for 14 Sharon Avenue, Lot 10, Shire Industrial Park.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion seconded. We'll do a roll call vote. Melissa?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. And Christian, what's your opinion?
Aye.
All right. So we have,
Oh, wait, we need to
Decision.
close the meeting and then
now we
vote on
need,
this.
yep, now we need to close the public hearing.
All right. Motion to close the
Okay.
public hearing on 14 Shire Drive, 14 Sharon Avenue, Lot 10,
Sharon.
Shire Industrial Park.
Second.
All right, seconded. Roll call. Melissa?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. And Christian, your opinion?
Aye.
All right, that's closed.
All right.
Now we can vote to approve the
Thank-
site plan application for
Yeah.
14 Sharon Ave, Lot 10, Shire Industrial Park.
Right. So now say that again? No, you're saying we voted too soon before we closed it?
We didn't, yes, yeah, we needed to close it first and then we can vote on the
Yeah.
decision.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a
more time?
motion. Did we hear a second?
Okay, thank you.
Second.
All right. Roll call. Melissa?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Christian, your opinion?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate your
Thank
time.
you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. So now, Rich, you want to circle back to
Yeah, just to vote the stormwater management
stormwater
permit for
right.
4 David Road.
So we have a stormwater. Where's that? Let me put that. For David Road stormwater management permit. I don't see anything out of the ordinary in that.
That's good.
Does anybody have any questions?
Nope.
No.
All right. Well, I'd like to make a motion to approve the stormwater management permit for 4 David Road as printed.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. Melissa,
I'm excited.
Aye.
Chris,
Stormwater.
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
He's saving it
Chair
for
votes
Shire
aye,
Drive.
and Christian, your opinion?
Aye.
All right. So,
You're saving your assignment for the next one?
I will be more
Enthusiasm, you should say?
enthusiastic
More
about
okay.
other
So-
public hearings, yeah.
Saving is in.
Okay, so 4 David Road's done, 14 Sharon Ave's done. Is there anything before we open the next public hearing, Rich?
No, let's go right to that, please.
Okay, let's knock it out. All right, so let's open the public hearing for 4 Sharon Ave, site plan approval and stormwater management permit for the proposed multi-tenant commercial building. This was continued from May 14, 2024.
The cord is right there, and then I can switch it over.
Do you have to hit the switch? There you go.
Great.
Perfect.
All set, Mr. Chairman?
Yep.
Good evening, Dan Marican with Legacy Engineering. We provided a revised submission package addressing the outstanding comments of your peer review consultant. There weren't a lot of changes. I'll just buzz through some of the quick ones for you, and if there's any specific questions you guys have for me, I'm happy to answer those. We added more screening trees to the left of the site. We have a residential home to us. We added a loading area across the back. We added a more detailed planting schedule, calling out particular species, sizes, trees and shrubs. And really, actually, the other thing that we did is we added a freestanding sign here. This will be on granite posts. It'll meet the size and height requirements of the bylaw. It's kind of very much similar to what other signs that are up in the industrial park there. The majority of the work that we did was to work on the stormwater management system. I think Bill was lucky that he got first because we separated our roof system from our driveway system at the request of the peer review consultant. So that was done, so you can see now that these two systems work in tandem to handle all the driveway and loading areas, and then this system was separated out to handle the roof runoff. We reworked some of the stormwater management calculations and report, and we got a clean bill of health from your peer review consultant. We also added a small rain garden down at the right driveway entrance. There's really not a lot in Beta's memo outstanding. We can go through anything you want, but SV1, there's a boulder wall across the back of the site. The applicant's going to replace it with an engineered concrete wall. Detail was added to the plans, but that wall requires a building permit, so when the applicant has that designed by a structural engineer, we'll provide copies of that design to the board, and that's one of the conditions of approval that's been drafted for you. T3, the fire department has been asked for comment. I don't think we've received anything yet, but there is a condition in the draft before you that we would coordinate with the fire department to see if they have any comments, and if they do, that we could wrap those in prior to endorsement.
Nothing from chief yet?
And SW10, a condition that the owner provide annual inspection reports on O&M to the town annually before May 30th, and that's a draft. That's a condition in the draft that you've been presented with. And that's about it.
SW8 as well is deferred to the board.
Oh, yeah, so how will future property owners, my suggestion is that you incorporate in your decision as an attachment the O&M plan, because your decision gets recorded at the registry.
Right.
And if the O&M plan is an attachment, it's there as well. It's easier than just recording an O&M plan by itself with no context.
Similarly, Rich, did you call that on the decision already?
I did not.
So you could just add a page to the back of the decision, attachment A, O&M plan, and
Yeah.
I provided that to you this afternoon.
Yeah, you
a
already
separate
did, yeah.
standalone plan.
Easy enough.
I think that probably will be a nice standard kind of condition, I guess, probably.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to do.
Yeah,
Because it keeps it on record with the
Right.
decision, so it's out there forever.
yeah, I do like that idea.
Like it. It's a good idea.
I think I got room.
That's it. That's a pretty small list.
Not related directly to this, but did we ever figure out why there's multiple names for Sharon Ave?
So,
Sharon.
that is legitimately the correct name.
Sharon's out.
Sharon's Ave, there's the
Yeah.
record plans that say both things. Sharon and Sharon's, and some of them say Sharon's with an apostrophe.
Yeah.
So we're not,
I know, assessors have it listed as Sharon Ave.
no S.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And then the other thing I want to bring up, not directly related to the decision, is appreciate the extra greenery on the left-hand side there. I think this was the lot where folks that were in that neighborhood were concerned about the building. So if, I can take this on myself to do, but we might want to let them know, like, hey, there's more greenery going in if that's a concern, you know? And it looks like you have the plant types over there as well, so
Yeah.
we can even let them know exactly what's going in there.
Yeah, we have her name and address too.
Okay.
The name is definitely in last month's notes.
Yeah, she was further up the street. The home to the left of us actually sold the applicant some land.
Oh, okay, cool, gotcha.
The home to the left is fully aware of what's going on.
She might be out of the, she outside the 300 or something? And we can reach out.
Anyway, that's
Yeah,
not
they can
specific
notice
to
it in the
this.
session, But yeah, we can.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
we can
I can make sure she gets a copy.
Yeah.
Okay.
alert her to the plan.
Yeah.
Additional screen. All right.
If we go look at the decision, the only thing that's missing from the decision is to attach the O&M plan. Is that my understanding?
That's correct.
Yeah,
Which satisfies SW8.
yeah.
All the other ones are
All the other ones are addressed, yeah.
included, yeah.
So we
Are
can,
currently in the draft.
I think there's probably room in this one to weave that in there somehow and not change any of the pages.
I think you just add one sheet to the end of it that says attachment A, O&M plan, and just put it on the back of it.
Sure. I like that idea.
Simple way to do it.
I suspect that will be in the motion, right?
Yes. Which we'll make after we close the public hearing.
Learning on the fly.
Room is not
So-
too full, just so you want to know.
Any additional comments from Zoom or in the room?
There are none in the room.
People in the room are the applicants and another applicant. So.
It's a motion to close the public hearing for 4 Sharon Ave, site plan approval and stormwater management permit.
Second. Sorry.
Okay.
Second. Thank you.
There we go. We have a motion's been seconded. Roll call, Melissa,
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
chair votes aye. Christian, your opinion?
Aye.
Okay,
Doing really good.
I know, man.
so the public hearing is
A lot of words
closed.
today.
So now we have to vote on the decision. So I would like to entertain a motion to approve the site plan application decision number 2024-08 for 4 Sharon Ave as printed with one additional change to attach the O&M plan.
So moved.
Second.
And we have a motion seconded. Roll call, Melissa,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
chair votes aye. Christian, your opinion?
Aye.
Okay. So now that site plan is approved, but we also have a
Stormwater.
stormwater management permit. And that is in the share drive. I don't see it in the share.
There actually,
There.
there
Got
is
it.
no stormwater permit because it's less
There
than
was no
1 acre.
stormwater permit, yeah. Never mind.
So that section of the bylaw doesn't apply.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine by me. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very
Yep,
much.
thank you.
Much appreciated.
All right, so the next, so that's it for public hearings for tonight. The next order of business is to vote on the decision for 9 Lot 20 Shire Drive. site plan application, stormwater management permit, earth removal permit, and special permit. So 9. So we have several pieces of the puzzle here. 3.
So we do have, Josh is with us on Zoom, right?
I see him.
Josh is there.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
Josh,
Hello.
How you doing, Josh?
And then we have,
doing?
Good.
you want to do 11 first since the applicant's in the room for 11? Just take him out.
Sure.
How's that?
We can do that, yeah.
All right. Excellent. So
Let's
this,
do that.
so these are pretty clean in terms of comments. Went back to the engineers and then conferred with the owners and through the peer review process. So unless you find something, everything should be completely addressed in the draft decisions.
Great.
Or actually, both of these.
Earth removal. What's the special permit?
Outdoor storage.
Oh, yep. Yeah, looks good to me.
there's no special permit for 11 Shire Drive, though.
No, 11's just got the site plan and then the stormwater management.
Oh, yeah,
And
sorry.
earth removal.
Oh, right, yeah. I was
Thank
looking
you.
at
I
the
was looking
wrong
at the other one.
line.
No questions on my side.
Hearing's already closed.
Yep.
Nicely done.
I don't have any questions about the site plan decision.
All right.
Anybody else?
Nope.
Motion to approve the site plan application decision number 2024-04 for 11 Lot 19 Shire Drive.
Seconded.
All right. Melissa?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. And Christian, your opinion?
Aye.
All right.
No.
Motion to approve the earth removal permit and notice of decision for 11 Lot 19 Shire Drive.
Seconded.
All right. Melissa?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Christian, your opinion?
Aye.
All right.
Motion to approve the stormwater management permit for 11 Lot 19 Shire Drive.
Seconded.
Melissa?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. And Christian, what's your opinion?
Aye.
Okay. So I think that wraps up 11.
Yep. Thank you so much.
And then,
Thanks.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
I'll get those filed with the town clerk tomorrow. Once I have your copies.
Thank you. Thank you. Everyone have a great night.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you. All right, so let's talk about 9 Shire Drive. Same thing. We got site plan, stormwater, and earth. And that's special, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good on my side.
Cool.
Rail's good?
Yep.
Yep, looks good. All right, so I'd like to entertain a motion to, or can I get a motion for the site plan application and special permit application for decision number 2024-03 for 9 Lot 20 Shire Drive as printed?
So moved.
Second?
Okay. Melissa?
Aye.
All those in favor? Gary?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. And Christian, your opinion?
Aye.
Okay. The next is I'd like to get a motion for the earth removal permit and notice of decision for 9 Lot 20 Shire Drive as printed.
So moved.
Second?
Right? All those in favor? Melissa?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. And Christian, your opinion?
Aye.
Okay, and then the last piece is can I get a motion for the conditions of approval, 9 Lot 20 Shire Drive for the stormwater management permit?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, roll call vote, Melissa?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. And Christian, your opinion?
Aye.
Okay. I think that wraps up all the pieces for 9 Shire Drive. Thank you, Josh.
Much.
Yep. Yep, have a good evening. All right, so the next thing, Rich, is a Shire Drive progress report.
No new progress to report.
I'm gonna throw my empty cup at you. Awesome.
Okay.
Well, when's the surveyor going out there?
They're already been out there. The estimated arrival time is first week in July.
Okay.
It's ongoing right now.
Okay. So survey started, and you said we'll have. So when you say estimated arrival time, what's that mean?
The survey will be completed by, I think it's July 8th or 9th.
Arrival, the completion to us. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll hopefully see a report in July on this from the surveyor. Okay. All right. I guess the next item is street acceptances for November 2024 town meeting.
Really nothing new to report.
Well, you had a list, right? That you showed us
yes.
Previous meeting.
I did reach out to Tony DiMartino for Ariana, make sure he gets his paperwork into us, so he said he's working on it, so.
Have there been any requests for more street acceptances, given the spending limits that the town has put in place for maintenance?
Not necessarily, well, we're moving forward with more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of a self-imposed, we have that list of ones that we need to move forward on.
That's good. You're ahead of it before people do start complaining.
Yeah. So that's the short report.
But no other updates since our last meeting?
In terms of streets, no.
Yep, in terms of streets, yep, okay. Then the next item is to appoint our associate member for a new term.
Is that something you're interested in?
Only if you guys will have me.
Yes.
Every single meeting.
That was a great response.
Only, yes, we will gladly have.
Oh my God.
There's a lot of enthusiasm, I like that, it's very good. All right, so now you just need to vote it.
So, like to make a motion to, I guess, to accept Christian's application as our planning board associate member with the term that would expire June 30th of 2025.
So moved.
Second.
All right, roll call vote. Melissa?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye.
Sorry.
You want my opinion?
I don't know if you can really vote on your.
It's not a
I
vote, it's an
think you already
opinion.
expressed your opinion.
Fair enough.
Oh, that was perfect.
Well,
That'll go on to the select board for their next meeting for them to vote on that, because it's
Yep.
two board.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'll need to
right.
attend that as well, right?
Not necessarily.
Didn't I had to last time.
You didn't have to. It's recommended.
Oh, okay, all right.
It's recommended, but
I can.
they know you. You're good for the role.
You were just
Yeah.
there.
Hey, we're just, hopefully not.
All right.
Yeah,
Just let me
hopefully
know.
not.
Doesn't matter.
I mean-
When is it again?
it's a fun meeting.
It would be the 4th.
Well, I shouldn't say, if you want to attend, you're welcome to
Sure.
attend.
It's next Tuesday.
It's next Tuesday. Well,
Is it?
No. Is the voting?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
if so, I'd be
Because
remote because I
the
won't be in.
appointments have to be in by by today at noon, which this is beyond noon. But
The 14th. That's fine.
Yeah, next Tuesday's I mean, you're right. The
Yeah.
18th.
18th?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
numbers are hard for me. I just knew it was a Tuesday.
Yeah, you're welcome to attend, Christian, but I don't know if it's necessary since you were a previous
Okay.
associate member. So
Just to be clear, it's
I'm sure
not-
they would love to have you there.
It's not ever necessary. It just looks good and it shows
It does look
interest
good.
in the.
Yep. So the next item is to appoint a planning board representative to our Community Preservation Committee.
This has been me for the last 2 years. I'm more than happy to give it up if anybody else wants it.
I mean, I think you're doing a fantastic job, though.
I mean, hey, CPC does a lot of good work in town. You can see it in the town meeting with the articles that we have to vote on, and, you know, that's brought forth some repairs to Freeman Kennedy Fields and pickleball courts. Unfortunately, I cannot sway anybody to put a new skate park in, but I am going to die on this hill. But yeah, so I'm more than happy to do it, but if anybody else wants it, I will entertain that position.
I think if you do it one more time, that should be.
Okay.
Well, sounds like, Gary, you would be a perfect person to continue that, and so I would nominate you.
I'd second that.
Well, there you go. You're on the road. Now you need a vote.
All right. We'll do, anybody else would like to do that before we move forward with Gary? But, okay. So we'll do a roll call vote. Melissa?
Aye.
Gary?
I can't vote.
Yeah. I think you get to vote for yourself.
Oh, aye.
Chris?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. And Christian, what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, aye.
There you go.
All right.
All right.
I'll do the board proud. Don't worry.
We know you will.
Believe in you.
Gonna get that skate
You
park.
always do.
So we got meeting minutes for the last two meetings.
Yep, I think we decided to hold off on the April 9th though, right?
Yep. Yes, we did.
Okay.
So it's just
So
the
it's just
14th,
for
right?
Yeah.
the May 14th.
Yep.
So Melissa, I'll let you, if we're all good with those minutes, I'll let you make the motion for that.
Sure. Let's see. Make a motion to accept the meeting minutes from the planning board meeting on Tuesday, May 14th, 2024.
Second.
All right, we'll do a roll call vote. Melissa?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. And Christian, your opinion?
Aye.
Okay. All right, the next item is 10 MacArthur Ave, to get an update on its completion.
So just up there this afternoon, and the road is
Someone have a
Prepped.
screen.
I'm
Hold
sorry,
on.
I think I may have just shut that off.
What you shut off? I'm still here.
Nice.
The TV's turned off.
Yeah,
Oh,
all right.
oh, there we go, okay.
We're
Woo.
back.
We do have some photos in terms of it's ready to be paved. I think they were trying to pave it, weather permitting, Thursday or Friday this week.
Okay.
If not, it'll go into next week. If you recall, there was a deadline of June 30th, so it's,
This is that area that we were calling the Hammerhead on the
Yeah,
road
that's
there?
right,
Okay.
AKA the Hammerhead.
And assuming since we haven't heard a lot about that area, like everything subsequently went better?
Things have gone better, yes.
Okay.
A lot of the, I think, well, a good line share of that was really to the proposed,
Why is that not working? Oh,
Yeah,
but the other things have been
yeah,
in good order.
okay.
Because now you can see, well,
well, I have pictures, but I don't know what's going on here.
something's going on with the TV, but I do have pictures. Well, actually, the pictures are on your shared drive, so,
oh, okay.
I mean, you can,
Roadway photos?
yeah, roadway photos, if you want to, you can look at those.
I'm gonna have to buy a computer one day.
Mine just died.
Mine's not opening the slideshow. Oh, there we go.
And I
Mine-
can't get
mine's
the
working
screen
good.
to work, so,
What's that?
we're all,
You can't get it either?
well,
Rich,
No, I know.
just,
No, I can
just
see it.
describe what we should be seeing.
You'll see
Air gravel.
you'll see gravel
Ready to be
at the
paved.
edge,
Dirt.
which acts as a,
oh, I know why, hold on,
I
I'm
see
gonna
it.
switch it. Switch it back.
That's like riprap.
Yeah, it is riprap.
A very handsome porta potty.
yeah.
For that
The
attention to detail.
the riprap, yes, that's there as additional protections in terms of stormwater. Oh, there's
there
the
we go, we
pictures,
got-
see?
I forgot to switch it back after Dan was using the,
Can you see it now?
Yes. Chad
Yes.
doesn't. Chad does? Yeah.
I see yep, I see it.
can you see it? Okay.
All right, so that's,
It's so nice without that big fence.
yep, the fence is gone. You can see the perimeter with the stone riprap. Well, it's a small stone, but that's what it's called for in the plan. If you go to the next slide, this is looking up Hunter Ave to the left,
Yeah.
which will be paved. That's, kind of see another view of it.
It's actually quite a bit bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's plenty
So
of
this
space.
is looking up MacArthur Ave towards Hunter Ave.
Gotcha.
The larger diameter riprap was put there at the request of DPW to act as a way to slow any runoff coming off that pavement.
Is
Yeah,
the
makes
house
sense.
on the right, is that,
The house on the right is the new house, yeah.
So you're taking the photo from MacArthur?
MacArthur Ave, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And the new home is
Looking-
on to the
yeah,
right where
looking
the
up towards- yeah.
porta john is.
Okay.
And to the left of this photo is Hunter. Or,
Yeah, to the left, up by the fire hydrant on the left.
yep.
Just another view looking up at it.
Okay.
Porta John.
Lovely.
Where is the driveway?
It's on a
Is it
slope.
right?
The driveway is right in the
Right to the
front.
left.
There's really not a driveway. It's just going to be a pavement. So
Parking.
take the car, pave the. What you see in the bottom of that
Yeah, to
photo?
the left.
Right in center of the photo, where that riprap's to the left, in front of that will be the paved area for the parking.
Oh, okay.
And then you'll have to, I don't know, what he's going to do to get, there's the house. If you were to travel on Lakeshore Drive and look back, it looks like a 3-story house up there because it's 3 level, built into the side of the hill.
Yeah.
And so everything is lined up to be paved and be done to meet the time frame. So
Okay.
Okay.
that's the extent
So
of
are they looking for a fall street acceptance?
I don't know. We didn't go that far. I suppose it could be. I've talked to DPW.
And it looking close.
Yeah.
And then we'll get updated as-built and all that fun stuff.
Correct. Yep. Yeah, once it's complete. So yeah, maybe a possibility except in the fall.
If not fall, it should definitely be spring then. So,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, for sure. And there's Hunter Ave. To the right of my Jeep is that's where the new utility pole will be going. You see it in the picture there?
Yep.
Yeah. When's that going in, do you know?
No, it hasn't been scheduled yet. So the house has got quite a bit to go internally in terms of to be.
Is there a reason the hydrant's like 2 feet in the air? I noticed that when we walked it last year. Does that happen often?
It does happen.
Huh.
How often? I don't know. It's a good question.
I just kind of figured it'd be filled in, but I guess it's not part of this actual project. It's just sitting there 2 feet.
It was, we asked.
Well, no, it was actually. That's that new hydrant
Yeah.
was installed by this
Right.
Oh,
applicant.
That was installed for the project. But think of wintertime. It'll always be seen.
doesn't snow here anymore.
So that's so we're tracking to meet the target. So that's the update.
Excellent.
You're gonna go up to J Peak on the 22nd.
Why? What's that?
They're opening up for
wow.
one day of skiing.
Holy smokes. No,
Okay.
but that sounds awesome.
Next item is just to vote to extend the master plan implementation committee past June 30th because you're gonna need to.
How much? Much
that?
longer do we need to extend it? A month? 2 months?
You know what? Maybe.
Maybe through the end of the year, just to be safe?
Yeah, I think to be rounded up,
don't-
just go to the end of the year. Shouldn't
Okay.
need all that time, but I mean, just to
No, I don't think so.
be conservative.
Questions before we vote? Or before we make a motion?
Nope.
I don't, okay. I'd like to entertain a motion to extend the master plan implementation committee until December 31st of 2024.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote. Melissa?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Christian, your opinion?
Aye.
Okay.
All right. Now, next on to updates. We're joined by Bill Buckley from GFI Partners via Zoom. Provided a kind of an outline memo of the next steps in terms of the zoning work needed for the C6 zone, which is the location of the former Southwood Hospital site. We're trying to work as we rebrand this to 111 Dedham Street And slowly over time, drop off former Southwood Hospital sites, we turn the page. So we've had, well, I won't go point by point in the memo. The memo is in your, in the shared drive too. I'll just go over the highlights, but we have met, Bill Buckley, myself, and Josh Fial from the MPC, and all three have gone through the zoning bylaw. And the analysis is that in terms of what needs to be modified, it can be done within the existing bylaw. It doesn't, I don't think at the end of the day it will turn out to be so many changes whereby it might be better just to delete it and replace it with a new one, in terms of, going before town meeting. There are changes in terms of renaming it, one, updating the lot requirements and setback requirements. There'll be some adjustments to parking requirements to be in line with today's standards in terms of parking numbers. We're proposing to do it within that zone itself, the parking, to try to contain it all within itself. So that will be a new provision within the C6, because parking is outside of it in our parking section. But just to, let me put it, there's an option on the table. We're really more talking about industrial uses, parking and warehousing. Those numbers, ours are more parking intensive. So we have the option either to contain it within, or we could do within the parking table, our existing parking section, or do it within the bylaw. But as we go along, we can kind of get into that a little bit more. But just to kind of outline that for you. Sign permit regulations could need some changes potentially. We'll see how that goes.
This is just relevant to C6, or this is?
C6, yeah, C6. But the way the parking bylaw is structured, you can kind of carve out some things in terms of C6, but that might be an area that we touch. There'll be some new uses that we'll be adding to the use table, which will be applicable to this zone. The rest of it will be, for now, probably no's, most likely. But again, if there's something that comes up through this process that we want to think about it for really we're talking about the C1 zone, essentially, stuff that, uses that we may develop new uses for this district. Really the only district I can envision where you might want to consider would be the C1 district. But for now, it's to just contain it to the C6 zone. And then there'll be some uses in the C1 that would be added into this district too. So we'll do a little bit of that as well. I'm just giving you, we're going to give you a draft with all these so you'll see it out. I'm just going over the highlights for tonight. The other thing that we did, let me see, I lost my place for a moment, excuse me. The uses, sign regulations, adjustments. What else do I have in here? I think I lost my train of thought. Oh, I know what it was. Some uses now, then they're in the use table that are by the zoning board of appeals. Want to give consideration to bring them under the planning board. So kind of line up all that permitting under one, so you're not going from one board to the other to consolidate it. There's a lot of, I think, substantial reasons to do that. I will talk to the ZBA too, just so they're aware of it, so they don't see, hey, we're losing things. I don't think generally they would be opposed to the idea of taking some of those special permit uses that were through them and put them on the planning board.
Do you have any examples of those kind of top of mind that would go to them instead of us?
I will, yeah. I'll send them off the top of my mind right now. Let's see. Hold on. Just give me a second here. Let's take a peek here. So one I can definitely tell you off the top is assisted living. Because I think, there's been discussions that the outer parcels, if you will, the land that's along parallel to Dedham Street, Route 1A, might be suitable, it might be a good site for assisted living down the road. So that's definitely one that I would consider to be moved out to the planning board. Trying to think, don't think there's too many other, honestly, there's not too many other ones that are in there, because we cleaned a lot of them up when we did the other rezoning. But I know that's one, for sure. There may not be any other ones. So I'm looking here, so wastewater treatment plant's been changed. We just did that in the Springtown meeting, so that would have been another one, so that one's addressed. So in terms of, that's kind of the highlight. What we're intending to do is the three of us will put together a draft for your July meeting, start to look at what it looks like in terms of language, and then go through that in July and August to kind of refine that in terms of language. But I think the takeaway is that not a lot necessarily needs to be changed already within that zoning district. Some stuff will actually be removed, because as you know that, they're not going in a residential direction. So there might be consideration like as age-restricted housing would be a no in that district. We'll talk about that, but that's not the direction. So we could certainly leave it, or you could take it out. So that's kind of another example, might be a change to that district in terms of the use, how it impacts that. The other thing that we're going to be doing is, instead of so right now is the planned multi-lot development, which in theory may make sense, but I will tell you from the ones that we already have in town, they really haven't worked well. And the reason why I say that is because the idea is that you're sharing common infrastructure. There's another way to design and structure bylaws to do that without having to create a planned multi-lot development, so that you truly put it under one ownership and they're responsible. So multiple buildings on a lot, they're sharing parking, they're sharing drainage, they're sharing wastewater, and not get into the management side of it. Our planned multi-lot development really gets into the management and operation side of it, which it hasn't worked well. Really, truly hasn't. Shire's an example of it, hasn't gone well. I think you'll probably get a feel for it when we start to move towards the center of town, because the Walgreens, the Stop and Shop lot, and then the lots that are in between Liberty Lane and Main Street, they're all under planned multi-lot development. And as we move forward, you'll see how that's really kind of impacted development potential.
It actually doesn't work very well for residential either.
No, it doesn't work very well for residential either. So that's a change that we're going to be contemplating to just get rid of it. So there's another way to accomplish the same thing, just done differently. Depending upon where things go from a wastewater perspective, that may correlate with water, so it may not be town Norfolk water, could be adjacent communities' water. So we'll take a look at that too, as well. Because they're exploring different ways to deal with wastewater for the site, which could be, what I mean by that is maybe getting it from the town of Walpole, which is actually technically the lines of theirs, but the flow is MWRA. But Walpole, anyway, that's probably a little bit too much in the weeds, but in general, to give them flexibility. There will be public water, let's put it that way, to serve the site. But that it has to come from the town of Norfolk may not necessarily be the case, which is one of the requirements in the bylaw right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's a positive and a negative, right? Positive if they are on Norfolk water, because then we get the finances from that.
Yeah.
Negative if they're not, but positive because then we don't have to worry about additional capacity for our residents.
The way it's being programmed now in terms of commercial, industrial, from a water consumption, it's certainly not going to be
significant.
Yeah, not compared to
right.
if it was going as residential, but that's not, it may still be Norfolk water too.
Right.
The thing is, the water is available, they'll have to extend it, but it is on Valley Street, so there is town water available to connect to it, so. But I just want to touch on, that's something that you might see.
Yeah.
As we get into it. So the idea is to work on the draft over the summer months. Hopefully there'll be some work involved with it, but not too challenging from a bylaw modification. Present it to the select board, to put on the warrant in September.
That's not the challenging part, though.
What's that?
Well, the challenge, I look forward to seeing the article, but timing could be better. It's going to be, temperature's kind of hot in town for this sort of stuff right now, right? So we're going to have to do a lot of due diligence come September to put a narrative and a plan in place to get as much information as possible out in front of the community, make sure they understand the positive impacts that this could lead to, make sure they understand the due diligence and the work that went behind these proposals. Not a lot of people go to fall town meeting, and again, temperature's going to remain hot in this town for a while.
For what it's worth, the conversations that I've had anecdotally about this location have been pretty positive.
I think when you frame it around remediation and potential commercial tax revenue, it's pretty easy to sway people.
Yeah.
Or especially since they're not going the residential route.
Right.
That's been a huge boon. Just the tax revenue alone from that has generated several smiles in my neighborhood.
So it's a good segue or companion to this. So is anybody going to Community Day this coming?
I will be working Community Day.
I'll have a booth there for the Cultural Council.
All right. So then what we'll do is we'll get you flyers, because June 20th.
I will be at the Bouncy Houses, so I will address all the parents.
So we can print out flyers for you to hand out. It's already been out on Facebook, but the more eyes on it will be good. So we'll kind of cover a lot of those points at the June 20th, because the June 20th will be a recap of coming to where we've come in terms of the zoning study and the preferred alternative in terms of development approach and why. It's some of the same slides that you saw. I'm taking away Bill's thunder here, but some of the slides that you saw on the 2nd of May will be available too to share. So those slides have already been shared with the, obviously with you all. On the 2nd, they were before the select board on May 6th. And then there was the PIP meeting that was on May 23rd. Again, another group in terms of showing the proposed development. So, but your point's well taken. I'm hopefully that in this particular instance, we're talking about a development redevelopment scenario that provides a commercial tax base, which is significantly, hopefully that
Right.
resonates.
Yep.
They're going to have to clean it up, right? So that'll be happen. And
It's on the financial assistance from the EPA, or
what?
the financial assistance on the remediation from the EPA.
So they are, I'll probably pause and give Bill some airtime. Bill, right?
Taking all of his talking points.
You're on mute,
You're
Bill.
muted, Bill.
He's also probably happy because he's still getting paid.
Yeah. So yes on the EPA. You want to share it with the EPA?
Sure. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you. The application is still pending, so we are, we did with Rich's support and Justin's support, we did submit the application to EPA for their targeted brownfield assessment grant, but it's still pending. So they asked for additional information, which our LSP is getting over to them. So, and as we stated, we gave an update to the PIP group a couple of weeks ago. We said, we're moving forward with the assessment remediation with or without the EPA grant. Right? It would be nice to have their support in this project, but it's not something that we're going to allow to hold us up in the remediation and approval process for this moving forward.
There are potentially other opportunities in terms of brownfields redevelopment that, as you know, town meeting did pass the MBTA zoning, and so there are other pots of potential money in terms of, we'll take a look at those as well as we go forward. So, did you want to add anything else, Bill, in terms of?
Well, no, I think you did a pretty good job, Richard, and I guess I would just thank the board again for giving us a time on your agenda here. What we did in the meeting with Richard and Josh, I think what's fairly unique about this zoning change is that the C6 zone is specific to this parcel and this parcel only. So as you look at changes to the language, you don't have to assess how it's going to impact other parcels in the district. So that's one thing that's unique here. And I think secondly, the fact that there's a conceptual plan that's already been prepared. So you you remove a lot of the unknowns in what the language of the zoning is going to result in or what it's going to entail. So I think that's, or at least from my perspective, we found that kind of is going to I think it's going to limit a lot of the questions that come up and really make it clear as to what the changes are necessary and why why certain changes are being implemented in order to allow the conceptual plan that has been shared with you. And we hope to continue working with Richard and the MAPCA. We're looking forward to that community meeting, which is already next week. And we intend to do additional outreach over the course of the summer, and we expect to be really active in answering questions or presenting whatever responses are necessary to the community as we get closer to the fall.
Sounds great. Bill, thank you.
And Mr. Chairman, if I could I just add one more thing? I just want to clarify for Richard.
Go ahead.
The town of Walpole has not shown any interest in providing sewer at this date. So it's something we've talked about internally, but they have not agreed to provide that. So I don't want to give any wrong impression that that's kind of something that's already been a foregone conclusion.
Okay. It's good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, yes, for sure. Duly noted.
Yep.
What did you note?
I didn't.
Did you make eye contact and you knew what he was thinking? Or are you talking about?
On Walpole,
Oh,
in
okay.
terms of its. That's it. Nothing more than that.
It's like a whole secret.
No, Rich just has the best facial expressions during these things.
All right. Well, thanks, Bill. And we'll be back with a draft.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think the visuals, Bill, to your point, having those conceptual,
Oh, God, yes.
that's going to be so helpful. Even when we reviewed our sign bylaws at the town meeting, we showed examples of what we were referring to, because it's so hard to picture what it's going to be, without some sort of image or inspiration photo or conceptual drawing. So I think that's a great idea. I'm glad you have those for
And
the
the
meeting.
renderings we've seen to date are...
They look great.
They're fantastic. Yeah, they're very tasteful.
great.
They're in line with what the aesthetic should be for this town moving forward.
Great.
All right. So we'll print out some flyers and make sure we get them to you for this weekend.
You got 2 days.
Well, we'll take care of it tomorrow.
We got a lot of stuff to come in and sign anyway.
Yeah. We'll hand deliver them if we need to. We'll make sure you don't.
Did you say you're going to be at the bouncy house or in the bouncy house?
At the bouncy.
I am the lead bouncy house, person.
Wow.
You're the
All
bouncy
right.
house bouncer?
I am. That's how I said it myself as well. Yes.
So I want to segue to the next zoning
Oh.
piece, if you don't mind. Sorry. Unless you want to.
Fine, let's get serious.
Well, so I do want to update you. I have somebody online with us, John Ruin. He goes by Jack. He is a Norfolk resident. He's attending the University of New Hampshire.
Nice.
He'll be getting a degree in planning
Great.
this December.
Awesome.
He reached out to me earlier in the spring about the opportunity to do an internship. And so I said, yeah, I think it'd be wonderful. It's not a paid internship, but give him, some practical experience in terms of planning-wise going. And what he's working on actually is the inclusionary bylaw.
Nice.
In terms of looking at different incentives to be able to increase the amount of affordable housing. So, again, what we're planning to do. So, in terms of changes to the inclusionary bylaw, it's not something that we're targeting to do in the fall. This is really a spring of '25. But because, Jack came forward and he's very interested and he lives here in town, it's kind of a blended, nice opportunity. So I thought that was a very relevant topic. So he'll be working on that, and he's on Zoom tonight, but at a future meeting, when we actually have more substance to share with and come in and go through with you. But I don't know, do I see him?
Yep, he's right there.
Bottom.
Welcome aboard, Jack.
I can't see.
Awesome. Looking forward to working with you.
I'm sorry you get stuck with Rich, but,
Yeah, sorry you got stuck with me. I don't know, Jack, did you want to say a few words?
Yeah, so I'm Jack Roween. I've lived in town my whole life. I'm a community and environmental planning major at UNH. I have one more semester this fall, and be graduating, and I'm glad to be on board working on some stuff and glad to get some experience in.
Awesome.
That's great.
Thank you, Jack.
All right, now what's the question? What we prep for today? I can put him on the spot.
What's the question?
what's the question? Now we got to know.
How did you decide to pursue planning?
So I grew up working summers for my dad's construction company. And I was always kind of fascinated with property development, land development, and I went into UNH undecided. And I was kind of interested in real estate, and my advisor pointed me towards planning major, and I really fell in line with that, and I really enjoyed it. It was interesting, so I ended up in planning.
All right.
Great.
I thought you were going to say it's because you saw all of our awesome YouTube videos.
We inspired you.
I thought you were going to say Rich was your hero or something like that.
No, it was not a setup. It was all it was clear. So I thought that'd be interesting.
Awesome.
Thanks, Jack. And he said we'll have Jack come before you as we get a little more substance topic.
Perfect.
Or material to talk on the topic. All right, so now so one thing I wanted to talk about was the July 9th meeting is challenging night for NCTV to cover.
July 9th. Okay.
July 9th. So one option is, because we haven't advertised the special permit for 28 Union Street, we could set that up to be a completely remote meeting and then not have to change any of your schedule. Now, Gary did disclose he's going to be away on vacation, so he wasn't going to make it at all. So if we stick to July 9th fully remote, this will give Christian his first voting opportunity.
Right on.
It's a little incentive, right?
Very exciting.
Very exciting.
In person then? No, I'm just-
It won't be in person, so that, if that's not a good option, then we'd have to look for alternative dates, which,
So we would just switch July 9th to remote. You said NCTV had some issues covering it. Can they still cover it if it's remote?
well, because we'll do it via Zoom, so then we'll just share the recording with them.
Actually,
Okay.
we
So-
can if we do remote, I can live stream it if we do all remote.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so,
That's fine by me.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
excellent.
And then you have the 13th highlighted. Was that a mistake?
No, that's important.
It's his anniversary, right?
Oh, good memories. It's important to me.
Good memory.
Should we talk about that next month?
Oh, jeez. Well, unless you, well, maybe we have to, I suppose.
I mean, you can bring champagne.
Yeah, I could, yeah.
Your partner can all celebrate.
Yeah, I don't think Kim will come.
So August 13th.
Maybe,
You're
I don't know,
talking
but,
about
you know.
moving that?
No,
Huh?
no.
No, I know she would want to come. No offense to anybody, though. Not that she wouldn't want to share.
No, we get it, it's fine.
So the question, I guess, would be, what could be a potential alternative, I guess? Select board did they post their August?
I'm away the next week.
First and the third, is that what they are? They're the first and the third, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if they're only doing one.
Can we
Oh.
They changed from the summer.
Yeah.
can we do the 6th?
I'm here on the 6th.
So they might,
You guys will be on your own if you do the 6th.
that's to be on vacation, but.
Yeah,
No,
I can't
actually,
do.
I'm not. I'm not.
You can't do that, Chad?
I can't do the first week of August.
Or the 20th?
I can do the 20th.
I'm away.
What about on a Thursday?
I'm away.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna suggest, is
What about like on the 15th?
yeah, I mean, is the 15th?
Oh, I'm home on the
It's gonna suck for
15th.
me.
Huh?
The whole week's gonna suck for me, but we
Oh,
can
does it?
figure it out. My son's got boot camp from like 5:30 to 8:30, so I've got a childcare that week.
Does the following Thursday help you all, or
22nd?
22nd?
Gary's gone that
I'm
week.
out.
Oh, you're out on the
Yeah.
22nd?
Let's do the 15th's fine. I'll figure it out. I've got an older kid who can watch the other ones.
You're on your own that. I'm definitely on vacation then.
15th?
But you guys can handle it.
What about the 8th? You guys weren't even, hasn't mentioned the 8th, no?
Oh, no, somebody's out the 8th, right? Oh, Chad, you're out, right? That first week in August?
Yep.
Okay. Well, let's go with the 15th.
15th?
Yeah. Okay.
That's our anniversary gift to you.
Thanks, I'll bring in something for you. For you all. So that actually
Okay.
covers my topics tonight.
Great. Wow,
Awesome.
it's only 9 o'clock?
Yeah, something's wrong here.
Yeah, okay, you're
Missing
jinxing it.
something.
I'm very excited to see you That didn't go as long, banquet, huh?
What?
You have to go to banquet?
Your son's banquet.
son's-
Oh, yes. They went very quickly.
Wow.
Yes.
Had some intel earlier today, I think it was gonna be long.
Yes. I was able to make a quick exit.
Okay. Excellent. Well, anyway, that's,
This is being recorded.
I think your kids are watching this late at night.
No.
all right. So, mouths
All
your
right.
foot. Okay.
Any other new business or unanticipated business?
No.
No.
All right. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Have a second.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.
All right.
Right
Good
on.
night.
Thank you all.
Good night.
Thank you.
Oh, boy.